Vaping sucks you in quick, and the more you vape, the harder it is to quit. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems. That's why thousands of teens are joining My Life, My Quit. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text StartMyQuit to 36072.
So, what's next? Your path doesn't have to look like theirs. You can do this, or this, or this. Check out in-demand jobs in Idaho and get up to $8,000 to find your thing.
Help dreams come true with the Ideal 529 Education Savings Program. Our easy-to-use tools make it simple to plan for your child's education. With tax benefits and ownership flexibility, Ideal is the perfect way to save for college, trade school, apprenticeships, K-12 education, and student loan repayment nationwide. Join us at our next webinar to learn more about the 529 plan. Enrolling takes just 15 minutes, and you can start with just $25. Visit idsaves.org to learn more.
At Valleywide Cooperative, we're here when you need us. For 100 years, we have been here to help you with food, fuel, and good old-fashioned advice. And for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life, which is why we pour so much into the communities around us. We've employed hundreds of your neighbors. We take pride in that, and in giving back millions in sponsorships, grants, donations, and scholarships. It's our way of saying thanks. We're Valleywide, and yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
We do things differently in Idaho. Sometimes we go east to find west, where muddy trails meet huckleberry smiles. Stars shine electric, and the wind smells like destiny. Sure, our traffic jams are strange, and not all our steaks are ribeyes. But wherever we go, our eyes never leave the road. Belts strapped and dreams packed, no distractions, no phones, focused. From here to there, it's who we are.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome into the IdahoSports.com GameStreams production of North Idaho Game Night. Coverage on IdahoSports.com was presented by Project Filter, Valleywide Cooperative, Next Steps Idaho, Ideal, Idaho's College Savings Program, and the Idaho Office of Highway Safety. Hello, everyone. Welcome in. My name is Brian Hall. I'm here joined by Brandon Bainey. Get his name right this week. A couple weeks ago, I really slaughtered his name. But anyway, tonight we come to you live from Silverton, Idaho, which is the home of the Wallace Miners, and Sather Field. The visiting Genesee/Colton Bulldogs are visiting the undefeated, both teams undefeated, the Wallace Miners. Homecoming in Wallace this evening, ladies and gentlemen. Both teams come in undefeated. Wallace with a 5-0 record, and Genesee comes in with a 4-0 record.
Yeah, and this is a monumental matchup tonight, Brian, in terms of the Max Preps rankings. Of course, that's what the state of Idaho uses to seed each team for the postseason. And right now, when you look at the statewide rankings for Class 1A on MaxPreps.com, you'll see Wallace ranked 3rd, Genesee ranked 4th. So the winner of tonight's game, and number 1 is Tri-Valley and number 2 is Cary. The winner of tonight's game, by knocking off an undefeated opponent, could potentially leapfrog Cary in the strength of schedule rankings and be as high as number 2 next week. So there's a lot on the line tonight.
And we always go to those Max Preps rankings anymore, even though we have the media poll and the coaches poll in Idaho. Right. Ranked in 5th in the media poll is Genesee, not mentioned in the coaches poll this week. And
I think it was the reverse. Wallace was in the
Wallace was ranked 5th in the coaches poll, but not in the media poll. Yeah. So both teams trying to get some love this week, and like I say, Max Preps is what counts as far as the rankings go. And we've got 2 really tough teams tonight. They haven't been tested. Wallace averaging 65 points a game And Colton on the flip side, averaging 53 points a game. We could have a track meet tonight, Brandon.
Yeah, you mentioned there Colton, because Genesee is co-oping with Colton, Washington.
That's right. So
just across
Colton,
the board.
Yep.
There are 5 Colton Wildcats that are a part of this Genesee program. Talking to Coach Jason Hansen pregame, he said all 5 have been great contributors. It's allowed us to actually scrimmage and practice 8-on-8, something Genesee hasn't been able to do in a while. And, of course, for Wallace, they're actually a 2A school, but there were no other schools to play with in their level, so they all optioned down to 1A as an entire league. Next year, Wallace and Lakeside have to go back up to 2A. So,
which is back to 11-man football, which is a
no.
No, there's still 8-man,
still
2A,
8-man, but,
okay,
but 2A will be the larger classification.
Gotcha.
So.
Okay. Genesee / Colton comes in, beating Lapway 48-18 in week 1. They defeated Salmon River 50-20. The Troy Trojans 58-18, and the Lewis Co-op of Highland and Nez Perce, they beat them 56-24 last week. Key players to the game: Jackson Banks, last year's White Pine Player of the Year, back for Genesee and Colton. Cameron Holmes, running back. Carson Warner Hall, a big factor for Genesee as well, as he's been playing receiver for a while, because they've had the running back that was injured, and now he's going to be.
Yeah, so Conrad Subert, starting wide receiver, has been out for a couple of games. Carson Warner Hall's really been helping at wide receiver. He's going to move back into the backfield tonight with Cameron Holmes. And even with that, Coach Hansen says we still haven't had our full roster of players yet, because tonight Neil Jaramalek, a good sophomore offensive lineman that normally would be starting up front, well, he's out. So they still don't have the full complement of players. And by the way, neither does Wallace. Starting wide receiver Emmett Miles suffered a broken collarbone in the second game of the season. He was kind of the speed. There's a lot of speedy guys on this Wallace team, as we'll see tonight, but he was a burner up top for sure, and a guy they miss.
Yes, Genesee Colton, we would say more of a young team too, but mostly the junior class. A lot of juniors on their team. Upperclassmen now. We go to the Wallace side. Wallace comes in at 5-0 with Jared Young in his 11th season here. 13th as a coach in that coaching set. They started the year off against Timberline, beating them 68-26. Their next feature was Soap Lake, Washington, 68-0. Clark Fork, 66-12. St. John Endicott, Washington, 66-6, and defeated Troy last week, 58-7. They are led by Cooper Miller. Cooper Miller had over 2,000 passing yards yards, and the MVP as a freshman last year.
Yeah, and he had over 1,000 yards rushing as well. By the end of the season, Cooper Miller was pretty much handling the ball on every single play. Coach Young says we want to keep him fresh if we can this year, and they actually have some talented ball players around him to do so. We want to thank our power boosters tonight for the Genesee Bulldogs: PNW Farmers Co-op, Strom Electric, Shorts Funeral Chapel, and North Idaho Crushing. Now, Genesee a couple weeks ago against Lewis County did several onside kicks here, Brian. So as they kick off tonight, that's something we'll have to keep an eye on.
And Genesee's kicker is number 80, and that is Braxton Chapman to kick off for Genesee. Onside kick, as you said, Brandon, and looks like they kicked it out of bounds. So the Wallace Miners will take care of the ball right there at the, well, they don't have the field mark. They have them clear on the other side, about the 40. Yeah, we'll see where they put the ball at. They still have the flag down, haven't decided where they're going to put it at yet.
Yeah, I'm going to mark it off here. And
looks like they'll be at the in Genesee territory to start off the game in the Genesee 47-yard line.
We'll introduce you to the Wallace Miners offense here after their first play from scrimmage. But each team has had a lighter schedule so far this year. Brian, competition goes up a level tonight.
Miller back. And shifting emotions, 2 backs. And he'll keep it himself up the middle. Gets to the outside, didn't follow his blockers, but Miller will gain about 4 yards. It'll be 2nd and 6.
So the Wallace offense tonight, 3 juniors up front on the line: Reese Williams, Benjamin Lacko, and Rossi Korosik. The tight end is senior Gus Scott, 6'3", big target. At wide receiver is junior Hank Larson. Slot back, he'll play running back and receiver, sophomore Lennox Radford. The running back is sophomore Ashton Holbert, and it's the sophomore Cooper Miller at quarterback. So 3 sophomores at skill positions for Wallace tonight.
Holbert in backfield, Radford in motion. Holbert gets the handoff up the middle. He's got lots of room, and he'll get the first down to the 35-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Miners.
Nice gain of 10 on that run there for Holbert. And the Genesee defense tonight, Brian, They've got Carson Warner-Hall at linebacker, Jackson Banks and Cameron Holmes flank him at linebacker as well. On the defensive line, it's Isaac McLaughlin, Wes Holder, and Preston Cass. And in the secondary, Carson Warner-Hall, Noah Bowman, and Conrad Subert.
Trip set for Wallace. They like to throw the ball. You don't see a lot of teams in 8-man throwing a lot, but boy, I tell you, this Wallace team is known for airing the ball out. And watching that Miller, great pass. He's got a man down, and that is downfield, and that's Larson. And Larson will get the score. We do have a flag at the end of the play. What a pass by Miller to Larson for the touchdown. Brandon, that ball was 40 yards in the air. That was a great ball.
Yeah, Hank Larson got a step on the defender. Miller saw it, licked his chops, and delivered it. I think Hank Larson is going to get a penalty here for the excessive celebration after the touchdown.
Did have an unsportsmanlike conduct, so we'll get that. And but the touchdown will stand after the touchdown. He got a little excited, but hey, this is what football's about. Get excited, right? Especially this week, we got number 3 and number 4 Max Prep, St. Idaho right here.
And that is the danger of this big play Wallace offense. Only took 3 plays for them to find the end zone, Brian.
You know, and the 2 plays that they ran, I mean, the first play was a 3-yard gain, and the second play, 10 yards. It was a great run right there. So if they can run the ball like that against this Genesee team tonight, it's going to be a long night for Genesee.
That's what Coach Hansen told us in pregame. He said, we got to know where number 4 is. That's Gus Scott. He said, but we got to stop number 18, Cooper Miller. So far, 0 for 1 in that endeavor.
So the extra try will be from the 18-yard line. Miller with his trip set again. Back to pass. Looking for a screen pass, and he'll overthrow the intended receiver, which was Radford. So 10:44 left to go in the first quarter. Wallace strikes first, 6-0 in this North Idaho GameStream, IdahoSports.com, North Idaho Game of the Week.
Once again, we have contributed to your ideal college savings program. Love, Grandma and Grandpa.
Ideal. Eventually, they'll appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you. I love it.
College costs money.
And back here to Southerfield, Silverton, Idaho, close to Wallace. Wallace calls this their home field. They strike first on a 35-yard touchdown pass from Miller to Larson. Back to kick for the Miners, Rosie Korosek. Onside kick, it's picked up by Genesee, and they'll have 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Neither team wants to boot it deep tonight. Here's the Genesee offense. Up front on the offensive line tonight, we've got junior Isaac McLaughlin, senior Justin Levitt, and sophomore Preston Cass. The wide receivers will be junior Noah Bowman and junior Conrad Subert. The running backs are Carson Warner-Hall, the senior, and Cameron Holmes, the junior. And at quarterback, it's the junior Jackson Banks.
Double set for the Bulldogs. Banks by himself in the backfield. Quick screen pass to the right. So we find the number on that. That's to number 2. That would be Warner-Hall. Pass completed for a small gain of about 2 yards to Warner-Hall.
And the Wallace defense tonight, Brian, up front on the defensive line, it is sophomore Ashton Holbert, senior Spencer Strange, and junior Reese Williams. The linebackers are junior Marley Pierce in the middle. He's a bad man. And then sophomore Charlie Stone and also junior Hank Larson. And in the secondary, sophomore Lennox Radford and sophomore Evan Strange.
Warner-Hall and Bowman out wide. Banks takes a snap. He hands off to Warner-Hall, inside handoff. And Warner-Hall is stuffed for a small gain. He gets back. They give him a yard on the play. It'll be 3rd down. Call it 3rd and 7.
And that's really the strength of this Wallace team, kind of right up the middle. especially with Marley Pierce there as the middle linebacker in on that last tackle. And then Reese Williams at defensive end, number 32, double-digit sack guy last year as well.
There's big kids on Wallace team, 6'3", 6'2", 6'2". It's big, tall, lengthy kids. And here comes Bank up to the ball with a third down situation. And the official is doing a little, we've got some equipment malfunctions here. So Banks is going to have to go over and.
Oh, man.
Oh, that's on a third down this early in the ball game. Banks goes over the sideline, which brings in Wyatt Basinger at quarterback.
Interesting.
Oh, no,
nope, they'll go Wildcat.
Basinger's going to go Wildcat. And that's on the draw play. And that's Bowman. And Bowman's got an opening. He's down there. He's got about a 15-yard gain for the first down. Bowman in the old jet formation, a little over 15, about 17 yards, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. A little wildcatting going on tonight from the Bulldogs.
Well, your quarterback has to leave on third down because of an equipment problem, something with his socks. And, hey, get your athlete there in the shotgun, Noah Bowman. And he even faked like he was going to pass there, and I think he knew he was running it the whole time. Nice play.
Delayed draw there.
Yeah.
Banks back in the ball game, in the backfield by himself. Warner Hall in motion, comes back, sets up beside him. High snap to Warner Hall, hand off to Warner Hall, and he's not going to get much there, maybe a yard. Well, we talked about this a couple weeks ago about that when you're in the pistol and you take the you take that snap high, just the timing is all off, and the play has to slow down, and Warner Hall a little slow getting up there.
Yeah, and Ashton Holbert in on the tackle there for Wallace. And again, that strength right at the middle. Spencer Strange is not your prototypical nose tackle. He's only 5'11", 170, but he's small and quick and uses that leverage well, and that allowed the backside defensive end to come through that time, Holbert.
So Warner Hall goes off, Basinger in for Warner Hall. Basinger, Bowman wide to the left. Banks with Holmes in the backfield. Banks to pass. He's got a man. That's Bowman. Bowman gets a short yardage pass. We'll give him another 2 yards there. It'll be about 2nd and 8. Yeah, maybe 3. Still moving. We're going by the chain gang over there. Guy keeps sneaking over. So we're going to about a 3rd and 6 when we're all done with it. So another third down, key third down here with 7:35 left to go in the first quarter. Wallace leads 6-0.
Charlie Stone on that tackle for the Miners. A little boisterous as he popped up and letting Bowman know, hey, that's just the preview. Main attraction still coming tonight. Another key third down here for Genesee, though.
Banks and Holmes in the backfield. Little, and Basinger back in the backfield now. Banks decides to take, the ball's on the ground, but it goes out of bounds. Fortunate for Genesee as Basinger had some Banks had some blockers, and the ball popped out right when it went out of bounds there. So it's going to bring up 4th down for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, we'll see where they put this at. It looks like they say it went out at the 30-yard line, so it's going to be 4th down and 2 here. So that was a 5-yard run for Banks, and you saw that time he had both backs on his left side to kind of lead block. You knew exactly where the play was going.
Mason Poxletner in the game for the Bulldogs.
And this is life for Genesee. They've had injuries. They've been shuffling guys all around the formation all season long.
4th and 2. Key play for the Bulldogs. And looks like they're lined up like the same play going to the right this time. Going to have 2 lead blockers. And he's got a hole, and he's hit hard right line of scrimmage, but gets away. Banks gets away for a good gain. We'll call it a gain of about 10. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, I like that because they just ran the the overload to the left, then they overload to the right, and you think he's going to the right. Well, he goes back to the left. A little deception there. Nice 11-yard run for Banks.
Bowman and Holmes in the backfield, and the defense was ready for him to go wide on that, and he cut it back up to middle, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs.
This is what we call the game within the game. Yeah, that ball is sitting at the
20-yard line.
Yeah, right at it.
1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. Holmes and Banks in the backfield. Winning motion is Bowman. Bowman gets the handoff and will be taken down for a loss. Great job by the Miners on defense there.
Yeah, and that was the linebacker, Marley Pierce. He basically followed. Bowman went in motion and followed him, and it's a 2-yard loss there.
Reese Williams in on that tackle, too, in that play. Great pursuit from the opposite side. Reese Williams on the other defensive end for Wallace, chasing down all the way from across the backside, tripped him up as well. So we'll take 2nd and 12 for the Bulldogs. .5:35 left to go in the first quarter, and we have a timeout called by Genesee. We've got a timeout on the field. Wallace leads Genesee 6-0 with 5:30 left to go in the first quarter. We'll be right back on IdahoSports.com.
We're Valley-wide cooperative. For 100 years, we've been your first choice for residential and commercial propane, fuels, oils, and lubricants. We service HVAC, install water heaters, propane tanks, and accessories. And yes, we'll even deliver right where you need it. Because for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life. We are proud to employ your neighbors and to be a cornerstone of your community. We're Valley-wide. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. We're here for you.
Back here at Souther Field, where the Wallace Miners homecoming tonight. And they lead with 5:30 left to go in the first quarter, 6-0 over Genesee. Back to passes Banks for the Bulldogs. Defender falls down, and the pass is just short of Noah Bowman. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 12 for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, Banks never really could get comfortable on that pass attempt. He was trying to avoid the rusher and kind of short hop that throw in the flat.
Larson on the coverage fell down. Looks like he slipped. Now, Brandon, when we went out there on the field, there was a little extra, looked like an elk had gone through. I just saying that, when we get up here in the north, we get elk that come on the field. And
some elk droppings?
Yeah, there's some droppings out there. Some milk duds out there. All right. Just wanted to let you know that, folks. Banks back to pass on 3rd and 12. Tough coverage, throws it up, he's got a man open, and it's caught at the 10-yard line for a first down. It looked like he was just heaving that one up in the air, but Bowman was wide open at the 10-yard line, and he gets a few extra yards beyond that. It's going to be 1st and goal for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, boy, that is about where are they marking this, at the 5? Yeah, it's like a 15-yard strike. Nicely done.
Just inside the 5-yard line. I think they're calling it just inside the 5. Be 1st and goal, Genesee. Boy, it looked like Banks was in trouble there going backwards, and he threw it off his back foot and heaved it up, and right underneath it was Bowman. So 1st and goal. Bowman and Holmes standing beside Banks on the left side. And the handoff to Holmes. Short gain. Maybe back to the line of scrimmage. Oh, they're going to call a loss. He lost a yard on that, so it'll be 2nd and goal. They're on the far side of the field there, folks. It looked like he might have got back to the line of scrimmage, but the gentleman with the stick went backwards on the chain gang over there. So 2nd goal.
We were talking about the grass here at Souther Field and the elk droppings, but also the grass is pretty long in terms of the high school football
places,
field. Yeah. So that a factor, too, with all the wetness we've gotten up here in North Idaho.
Banks double set to the left and the right. Subert out wide. Banks keeps it himself, tries to get up the middle, and nothing to it. And right there, Wallace stuffs him. And that's number 7, Spencer Strange, on the tackle right at the middle, which brings up the 3rd and goal for the Bulldogs. Spencer Strange, right nose guard.
A strange encounter indeed. Yeah, no gain there, so 3rd and goal now from the 6-yard line.
They tried to spread the defense with the double set there, and Wallace said, nah, we'll just stay home. Banks and Holmes in the backfield. 3rd and goal. Banks looking for the open man. He's got somebody else. He's got a man open. Touchdown, Bulldogs.
That was Carson Warner Hall.
Warner Hall with the touchdown grab. 6-yard touchdown for the Bulldogs, which evens the score to 6-6 with 3:13 left to go in the first quarter.
Oh, our PA announcer said Subert on that catch. Gonna have to.
I saw number 2 come with the balls.
Okay.
Looked like Carson Hall or Warner Hall there. So Carson Warner Hall.
I wonder if he's related to Malcolm Jamal Warner.
Well, his last name is Warner Hall, and my name's Hall. But I don't know. I don't know the kid. But might be a distant cousin. I don't know.
Relative.
Holmes makes the backfield. Banks calling out the play, trying to get the 2-point conversion. Warner Hall in motion. Banks fakes the handoff and will run right up the middle, and he will get the 2 for the Bulldogs. So, folks, we thought we'd have a lot more scoring in the first quarter. With 3 minutes and 13 seconds to go in the first quarter, Genesee/Colton has just pulled into the lead 8-6 over the Wallace Miners with 3:13 left to go in the first quarter. You listen to IdahoSports.com.
Once again, we have contributed to your ideal college savings program. Love, Grandma and Grandpa.
Ideal. Eventually, they'll appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you. I love it.
College costs money.
Wallace Homecoming 2025. Satherfield, Silverton, Idaho. And the Genesee Bulldogs just win in front 8-6. And they go with the onside kick right at the middle. And the ball's picked up. And that is number 99, the big man, Korosek. And he actually returns it about 6 yards up the middle. So, you know, we in the old days, you'd tell that front line to fall on it. But it hopped just right for Korosek. He got about 6 yards on the return, taking it into Genesee territory where Wallace will have the ball 1st and 10 from the Genesee 48.
Yeah, so I mentioned earlier this year when they played Lewis County in their White Pine League opener, Genesee did that 3 or 4 times. I mean, they scored, did the onside kick, scored, did the onside kick, tried to put the Eagles away early, but Wallace, a little older, a little more savvy veteranly, although, boy, they've got to take a timeout here following the kickoff. That's
interesting what they did here. They might not got the play in or anything, but Wallace takes a timeout. We'll keep it right here. So, yeah, Brandon, the onside kick you were talking about, when you got 8 guys coming right at you, that's kind of you better fall on that ball or secure it. You got 8 guys coming at you. So
in my high school career, and I was a very average player, I played 11-man football. 0 for 1 in my career, fielding onside kicks. The week after I muffed it, our coach said, we got a hands team now. So we're going to – because I was an O-lineman, so I was on the front line blocking. I was a sophomore, a sophomore special teamer on varsity.
They probably looked in your eyes, and the kicker saw you. He was like, that's the guy.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly how that happened.
Well, I was on both sides. I played both sides, so I was the kicker and the front guy on the line. So the only year we beat Murtaugh, Idaho. The onside kick, and they kicked it right to me, and I covered it. And
the battle for the wagon wheel.
Yeah,
right?
The wagon wheel. We got it. We went and got it out of the trophy case. That was fun.
Brian, a former Hanson Husky.
And right up the middle is Miller. Big gain. Call it 12. Miller takes it by himself. 12-yard gain, first down for the Miners. This Miller kid, only a sophomore, player of the year in the conference last year, 2,000 passing yards, over 1,000 rushing yards. This kid is a stud.
I had a coach in the North Star League tell me he could have been the league MVP his 8th grade year. That's how good he is.
Gives the ball up to Radford this time, up the middle, and Radford doesn't get much there. Maybe back to the line of scrimmage. So they'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, tough sledding there. Genesee tightening up a little bit defensively.
Lennox Radford, a transfer from Coeur d'Alene, right? Didn't play football last year.
Yeah, his freshman year was at Coeur d'Alene High School, played on the JV basketball team. His dad moved to Wallace and decided to come out for football.
Miller back in the shotgun, keeps it himself, gets the lead block. He's up for about 5-yard gain, 6-yard gain. Ball's on the ground. Ball's loose and still scrambling for it. And we'll see who comes up with it. I think Wallace recovered. Boy, there was a lot of bodies down there after that ball. Wallace is very lucky that didn't go over to Genesee.
Yeah.
3rd down and 10 for the Miners.
We mentioned that field is wet tonight.
That's close to where the elk droppings are at.
Yes. Yeah, we were out there earlier, yeah. And but it's like the grass is long and it's wet, so it is kind of sloppy conditions out there.
Miller back in the pistol. 3rd and 10. Looking to run, looking to keep for rushing yards. They've got the edge secure. He's not going to get much. It looks like, and he breaks it loose. Oh, it looks like they had him dead to rights. Up behind the line of scrimmage, 5 yards. He ends up getting 17-yard gain. And look at that. I mean, Brandon, they had him in their grasp 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and Miller picks up 17 yards for the first down.
That's the number one thing that Wallace coaches told me is that Miller, he's a sophomore, but he lifts weights like he's a senior. He is strong, he is compact, and Genesee just found out the hard way.
And how fast he is. Yeah. The speed right there. They have the Genesee had the edge covered, but not enough. Hand off to Radford. Radford almost gets the ball stripped, hangs on to it. He's going to get a short yardage gain there, about 2, we'll call it, maybe 1. And they give him about 1. It'll be a 2nd and 9. 30 seconds left to go in the first quarter. And Genesee leads 8-6 over Wallace. The only difference of the game is Genesee made the 2-point conversion.
Those 2-point conversions are pivotal in 8-man football.
And what we thought would be a track meet has actually been only a 1-score game for each team so far. And we'll see if they snap the ball. They've got 10 seconds left to go in the first quarter. They will get the play off. Miller back to pass. He's got a man open. And just overthrows. That was Larson again. Larson, this could be a long night if they start to hook up. That's actually number 9, Radford. And just overthrew him just a little bit. So that's the end of the first quarter. Here at Souther Field, the Wallace Miners trail the Genesee Colton Bulldogs 8-6. It's the North Idaho Game of the Week.
We do things differently in Idaho. Sometimes we go east to find west, where muddy trails meet huckleberry smiles. Stars shine electric, and the wind smells like destiny. Sure, our traffic jams are strange, and not all our steaks are ribeyes. But wherever we go, our eyes never leave the road. Belts strapped and dreams packed, no distractions, no phones, focused. From here to there, it's who we are.
Brendan back here at Souther Field, and we've got 1 quarter to play, and for 2 teams that are averaging 50 and 60 points a team, 8-6 after 1.
I like it. I'm down. Why not? Good defensive battle.
Great close ball game right now.
Well, like we talked about, both of these teams had, and I think they would admit it, a softer schedule to start the year. First real kind of measuring stick type game.
So we start the second quarter. Wallace has a Wallace has a 3rd and 10. That's not right. It was 1st and 10, wasn't it?
No.
2nd 10. Miller keeps it himself and is a host of Genesee Bulldogs tackling in there at the line of scrimmage. The middle has plugged up.
Yes. And really the one big run was Miller on a rollout down the sideline, right?
So that'll bring up 4th and about 8 for the Miners.
Well, they did give him a couple yards on that forward progress.
Didn't look like he got forward very far.
Obviously.
So 4th and 8, key for the Miners right here to pick up this first down. Holbert and Miller in the back. Miller to pass. Got to pass to Radford, and Radford can't run it down. Right on target, it looked like, just off his fingertips. And that's going to be a change of ball control there. The Bulldogs will have the ball, 1st and 10. Genesee defense steps up.
Big win for the Bulldog defense there. And I like the confidence by Miller. He put that ball up into double coverage, but threw it right where only Radford could catch it. And Radford is still kind of getting used to football, hasn't played since his 8th grade year, and still knocking off the rust a little bit.
Just a sophomore, Lennox Radford. Just picked up football not too long ago. So Genesee takes over on about the 17-yard line, their own 17-yard line. Back to passes Banks. Wanted the screen pass. Looked like a screen pass set up, but the receiver forgot to turn around. I think that was intended for Holmes. So that'll bring up a 2nd and 10 from the 17-yard line.
Both of these defenses making life uncomfortable.
Tell you what. Sometimes you like to see those 60-point games, but boy, I tell you, a nice 14-21 game or something like that, or 16-14 game is. This could be a good one.
Yeah, you said 21. 21
they don't do ones here, do they?
Not a common number.
They only do the 2s here. So sometimes you get a kicker, but not very often. Banks looking to pass. And great. Oh, they're going to call PI. Warner Hall was the intended receiver. It looked like Radford had good coverage there, but they said he got there a little too early. That's going to be a pass interference call.
Yeah, might have been just a touch early, but boy, Radford, that's just athletic instincts there. Again, hasn't played organized football. He's played this year, but had taken a whole year off prior to that, and so. Yeah, it's one of those things that as the season progresses, he'll learn. Okay, I got to sit back.
That'll move the Bulldogs up 15 yards for a 1st and 10. Genesee quickly up to the ball. Banks in the backfield. Warner Hall in motion. Fakes to Warner Hall. A little end around action with Bowman. Bowman's got a little bit of running room and gets a good pickup of about 8 yards. So Warner Hall went in motion to the right, but Bowman got the ball on the left. So nice little counter play there by the Bulldogs.
And who's the leading rusher in terms of rushing attempts tonight? Is it Banks, the quarterback? No. Is it Warner Hall or Holmes, the 2 tailbacks? No.
Bowman.
It's Bowman. This is the guy they clearly want to get the ball into his hands.
2nd and 4, we'll call it, for Genesee. Wide to the right, Warner Hall and Bowman. Little option play. And that ball goes to Holmes and didn't trick Wallace at all on that one. It'll bring up a 3rd down.
Yeah, Evan Strange crashing through to make the TFL tackle for loss. This is going to be a loss of about 3 yards.
So I noticed they're running away from the big man, Marley Pierce, a lot. They're running to the right side. When Pierce is actually playing more of a middle linebacker spot tonight.
Yeah, he plays right in the middle. Yeah. He's a bad dude back there. Typically leads the team in tackles most games.
Uhlencott with the great play on the end on that last play. 3rd down and 5 for the Bulldogs. High snap. And that's the Warner Hall. Warner Hall is going to be, looks like he'll be taken down for a big loss. That's going to be about an 8-yard loss, 9-yard loss. Great play by the Wallace Minor defense. It's going to bring up 4th down and 8.
Yeah, Reese Williams started it. Hank Larson finished it, and it looks like Genesee may go for it here.
4th and 8 into the ball game for the Bulldogs. The Banks bringing it in.
That was Warner Hall in that last carry, right?
Yes, it was.
Okay. Last 3 rushes for Genesee, all for negative yards.
4th and 8 for the Bulldogs. And a punt by Banks, and nobody's back. It looked like they were going to go for it. They get the Bulldog roll, and it'll be down at the 23-yard line of the Miners. So the Miner defense holds.
But I like that quick kick there from Banks, who lined up a quarterback and then did the quick kick. Those are the little things that, a veteran coach, Jason Hansen, in his 3rd stint as the Genesee Bulldog coach, the only coach in Genesee history to actually win a state championship at the school in 2005, officially, because the IHSA didn't have an official championship.
I was going to say Ozzie Knickerberg had a couple state champs for Genesee way back in the old days.
They were unofficial.
Yeah, unofficial.
Yes, he's the only one with an official. 2005.
All right. Give him that. Quick handoff up the middle.
In fact,
to Holbert.
Yeah, Holbert for a yard there, or 2.
No, actually, they gave him about 3 yards there, about 2nd and 7. We got 8:28 left to go in the first half. And Wallace trying it. They're down by 2, 8-6 to the Genesee Bulldogs.
Speaking of Coach Hansen, I'll tell the story after this next play.
Miller takes a snap, looks back to pass. Off his back foot, looking for the big tight end, and just over his head, Gus Scott out there, 6'3", 225 tight end, 225-pound tight end, just out of his hands, just missed him. So it'll be on 3rd down.
So Coach Hansen, 3rd stint as the Genesee coach. He said the last time he went to Wallace was back in 2004. It was in the playoffs. A 92-46 victory for the Bulldogs that day. They were state runner-up in 2004 and 06. They won it all in 2005. So 3 years in a row they played for the championship. 92-46, though. You think Wallace remembers that?
I think they might. Miller by himself in the back. Looking to pass. 3rd and 7. Looking downfield, and that is Radford with the catch. And that's going to be a big gain for the Miners. Brings up a 1st and 10 at their own 47-yard line.
Yeah, that's about a 23-yard gain there. So Miller's only completed 2 passes tonight. 35 yards to Larson, 23 yards to Radford.
And, Radford, just a couple passes before, just off his fingertips, they had the timing on there. Miller alone on 1st and 10 in the backfield. Trip set to the left. Bad snap. Miller picks it up. He's got to try to find some running room. He gets still moving the pile. He's going to get about 3 yards on that broken play. The snap was on the ground. Miller picks it up and runs for 3.
Yeah, just pick it up and get what you can there.
7:10 left to go in the first half. It's 8-6. Genesee with the lead.
I do wonder if Wallace's depth might be able to wear down. Genesee has 7 guys starting both ways tonight. Wallace only has, I believe, 5. So, not that it's a
Ironman
huge
football.
Yeah.
Kind of a power set here for Miller. Miller back to pass. He's got it Radford deep, and it's a reception. He pulls it down. A great catch by Radford. A big play again on the pass. Miller to Radford.
Yeah, it's about a 42-yarder there.
42-yard pickup for the Miners. 1st and 10. I tell you what, if Radford can beat a defender like that all night long, it's going to be easy money for the Miners. But they do trail by 2 in this first half.
We're already down to 6:20 to play before halftime, Brian.
Miller and Holbert in the backfield. Miller takes the snap, looks to keep it himself, trying to get around the end. Stiff arms the first defender and runs out of bounds at the 20-yard line. Or inside the 20, we're now down to 17, excuse me. They only have the line markers or the yard markers on the far side of the field, so it's kind of, usually they have them on both sides. But that'll bring up a 2nd and 8 for the Miners.
And not painted on, just the yellow signs.
The power set again with Miller, Larson, Holbert. Miller the handoff to Holbert, and Holbert's taken down pretty quickly.
Yeah, it's Wes Holder, the junior, the only guy that doesn't start both ways for Genesee.
He's fresh legs.
That's right.
Get those tackles in. So that brings up a big 3rd and 8 for the Miners with 5:45 left to go in the first half. 8-6 your score.
Obvious 2-down territory here for Wallace. They got this far on the last drive, couldn't cash in, turned it over on downs.
Holbert in the backfield with Miller. Holbert gets the handoff, and he'll pick up about 4. Brings up a 4th down, 4th and 5 for the Miners.
So here on 4th and 5, I think you try to dial up an RPO, run pass option with Miller, get him rolling out. If you have the lane, take it. If not, take a shot. 4th down. Oh, Reese Williams.
Well, we got a number 33 on the field. We don't have him on the roster here. But Miller with a 4th and 5 situation. Looking back to pass. Got good blockers, lots of time. And he will not get it off. It'll be turnover on downs again. And that was a great play by the other quarterback, Jackson Banks. Says, you know what, I want to play offense, not defense. So he tackles Miller for a loss, and that'll give the Bulldogs defense holds strong again, and they will get the ball at about the 17-yard line, 1st and 10.
Yeah, big sack there from Jackson Banks, linebacker and
/ quarterback.
Boy, that's 2 trips now inside the Genesee red zone. Wallace, no points to show for it. That's something they might look on postgame and lament.
Good word there, lament. Lament. All right, I like it. So the Bulldogs, 1st and 10. Back to passes Banks. Good, it's up, and right there is the other receiver from Wallace. Wrong colored jersey there. Lennox Redford with the pick, and that helps a lot right there. After losing the ball on downs, the Miners will get it right back on a turnover, and Radford on the pick. The receiver ran a little shorter route than I think Banks wanted there, and it went into Radford, played a little deeper, and caught the ball for the interception. Miners ball, 1st and 10. On the Bulldog 33.
Yeah, and that's one where Banks just left it in the air too long. Allowed Radford to make a play on it.
3 receivers right for Miller. In motion is Larson. That low snap again. Miller's got to pick it up and do something by himself. That's hard to do. They get that timing again. Right there's big number 44 again for the Bulldogs.
Yeah.
That's Holder. Holder with the tackle.
Wes Holder and Conrad Subert finishing it off there. And, yeah, the snapping, it's got to get back there clean. Miller's having to pick it up off the ground and loss of a yard there.
They'll bring up 2nd and 11, 2nd and 12 almost here with 4 minutes left to go in the first half. Here, Wallace homecoming at Sather Field, Silverton, Idaho, home of the Wallace Miners.
Silverton and Wallace only about a mile.
Yeah, a mile apart. Yep. Miller keeps it for himself up the middle, and he breaks a tackle. He's got some running room. He's got one man to beat, and and he falls down. And I tell you what, he put a move on Banks that left Banks on the ground, and Miller gains another 10 yards past that. And a great run by Miller for the first down. That brings him down to the 10-yard line. Just inside the 10-yard line. What a move by Miller. Fake you out right there. That was a great move. That's a play of the week type move right there. That was a Banks was eyeing him up, and he did a little juke step to the right, and boy, I tell you what, it was all over.
It's a play of the week if he finishes it, but he was rumbling, bumbling, stumbling.
He fell down at the 9-yard line. Miller, hand up to Holbert. Holbert will gain about 2, maybe 3. Still 2nd and goal. 3 minutes left to go in this first half. Miners looking to score here. They did get the ball first in the start of the game. Holbert again, same play, and he gains another yard or 2, and that brings them even closer to the goal line, but it'll bring up a 3rd and goal. Miners, you think, inside the red zone again, Brandon, and they've got to punch it in this time.
Yeah. 3rd and goal from the 4 here. I would just go right up the middle again. You got 2 downs
little
to do
fake to Holbert and Miller up the middle.
I like that.
2.5 minutes to go in the first half. Miller's got 2 backs in the backfield, in Holbert and Larson. And the ball's on the ground, and Genesee picks it up. There was a little miscommunication on the handoff to Larson. The ball's on the ground, and the Bulldogs recover. Again, a Genesee Bulldog defensive stop in the red zone. When the Miners were knocking on the door, no dice. Bulldog ball as they lead 8-6 with 2:16 left in the first half.
That's Wes Holder on the fumble recovery for Genesee, and that time Wallace went under center. They don't do that a lot, and Miller, as he leaned to hand off to Holbert, wasn't there. That goes on the turf or the grass, and Holder, a great play.
So the Bulldogs with the ball, 1st and 10 from the 8-yard line. Banks back to pass. He's got a man deep, and that ball's in his hands. That's Bowman. Bowman can take it to the house. He goes all the way. He's going to score for the Bulldogs. A 92-yard touchdown by the Bulldogs.
Takeaway.
Jackson, Banks, and Noah Bowman. I tell you what, Wallace knocks on the door in the red zone 3 times. You give Genesee a chance, they're going to come right back at you. 90-plus yard touchdown on 1 play, and now the game is 14-6 with 2 minutes to play in the first half.
Takeaways leading directly to points. Wallace brought the blitz that time. The back picked it up. That allowed Banks to find his man Bowman.
Banks looks to pass. They've got a blitz up the middle. Ball's in the air and incomplete. And that's the man that we talked about earlier, Marley Pierce, right up the middle on a linebacker blitz there. Extra point, no good. And it's 6-14. Genesee over Wallace with 2 minutes left to go in the first half. This is IdahoSports.com.
As Idahoans, we're not afraid to take risks.
All the way, all the way. Go. All the way down, all the way down.
Driving under the influence is not a risk we're willing to take. Be around to do more of what you love.
Back here at Wallace Homecoming 2025, and they're playing the Genesee/Colton Bulldogs, and a 92-yard pass, if you just joined us, folks, from Banks to Bowman, and the Bulldogs lead 14-6 with 2 minutes left to go in the first half.
That came on the heels of a Wallace fumble at the 6-yard line. 3 trips inside the Genesee red zone, nothing to show for it. Little tricky onside kick.
I think Subert was offsides.
Yeah. So they faked with the first kicker. He stopped, and then the guy from the right came and kicked it.
Yeah. So a little trickery between Chapman and Banks there, and it didn't pan out. But I tell you what, Genesee right now, what they're doing, Wallace goes the way into the red zone, and they can't finish. So they're going to make them re-kick it looks like.
And Genesee just, I guess, I mean, they've done this in other games too, but at some point you've got to boot it deep. Lennox Radford is the return man, though. So.
Yeah, and he's pretty quick. I don't know if I'd want to kick it to him. But when 8-man football, when you've only got about 15 guys, everybody's on the hands team.
It's true.
So Banks, the quarterback, to kick it. Little Squibber gets a good hop. Ball's on the ground. And I think Scott got on top of it, and he did. Gus Scott picks it up for the Miners. Gus Scott's a big man. He's 6'3", 225. I've already said that already, but man, he just looks a lot.
So in week 1, Gus Scott had 2 receiving touchdowns. Last year, the entire year, he had 4. So he's already halfway to his total after 1 game. Now, you've got plenty of time here. 1:58 to go before halftime. All 3 timeouts still for Wallace. You don't have to panic. Despite how poorly you've played on offense, you're only down 14-6.
And the way Miller passes the ball is, but this time he's got his leading receiver, Radford, beside him on the left side. Low snap again. Miller's in trouble. Gets away. Finds he's got 1 man to beat. And he's going to beat him around the corner, and Miller finally gets run out of bounds around the 30-yard line. It'll be a 1st and 10, and that's going to be a gain of 21 yards. First down Miners, and they've seen this a lot so far tonight, but they have not taken advantage when they get down to this Genesee territory. 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line. 1:46 left to go in the first half. They trail Genesee 14-6.
The big key there was Miller got out of bounds to stop the clock.
Miller back to pass, gets a good snap this time. On his back heels, double covered was Larson. And he tried to thread the needle. I tell you what, Larson was about the only guy that had a chance of that ball.
Yeah.
Double coverage, and Larson just can't bring it down.
Yeah, Noah Bowman on the front side, and then Cameron Holmes, I think, actually got in there at the end to make it a little more difficult. Good coverage by Genesee there.
2nd and 10 for the Miners. 1:38 left to go in the first half. So they had Radford, there he is, there he goes out now to the left. They had Radford in the backfield. He was a leading receiver for the Miners. Now he goes out into a receiving spot. Low snap again, and Miller's going to be sacked for a loss. And again, that's 44. Was that Holder? Holder again. That's the only guy with fresh legs on the field, folks.
Yeah.
He's the only guy that's been off on offense and comes on the defense and has been a crucial part of the Genesee defense. And it's going to be 3rd and 15 for the Miners. 1:10 left to go in the first half, and they trail the Bulldogs 14-6.
At this point, you might as well take your time, let the clock run down a little bit.
Again, a bad snap. Miller scrambling. And he's got his man downfield. It's going to be back to about the original line of scrimmage. And that's Larson bringing it down. And the chain gang doesn't quite know what to do over there, but they didn't get much further than the original line of scrimmage.
About a 7-yard gain there to Hank Larson.
They are going to call it 4th and 7. And the Miners take a timeout.
So they got 2 more in their back pocket, and that was actually a really nice catch by Larson there. Had to kind of drag the toe on that near sideline to make sure he stayed in bounds.
Brings up a crucial 4th down for the Miners. Make the memories last a lifetime by owning the digital game file of this game for just $15. Just click the download archives button to order yours. Are you interested in joining the team here at IdahoSports.com? We're always on the lookout for talented people that want to get involved in what we do. Salespeople, producers, camera operators, writers, photographers, even broadcasters. Email editor@IdahoSports.com to find out more. Now, we talked about last time, Brandon, that they have to do a game with me to get their first game in. We'd have to do a game.
That's the
for broadcasters.
That's the initiation.
Initiation. There you go.
You gotta sit with Brian for 2 hours.
That could be bad. 4th and 7 for the Miners. Miller back to pass. Good snap. He's got Radford open and just overthrows him. Radford would have been close to getting 6 right there, but again, Genesee holds. Their defense are holding again for the 4th time in a row. And with 31.6 seconds, the last time they had the ball was a 92-yard touchdown pass. So anything can happen in 31 seconds with these teams.
Well, I talked to both coaches pregame, and that's what the keys to the game were for Coach Jared Young of Wallace. Take care of the ball, read our keys defensively, run the ball. Probably 1 of 3 there. Genesee, Coach Jason Hansen, keep scoring points. Stop number 18, Cooper Miller. I'd say they're 0 for 2. Neither. You can just crumple up that game plan and throw it out the window for both sides.
Bowman in motion. Banks back to pass again. Looking for short pass this time, and we're going to have a little hold there on Subert. Subert across the middle, and on the coverage, Charlie Stone got a little too close.
I didn't see a flag come out, though.
Yeah, we got a flag on the sideline over. It's right in front of 12 over there.
Oh, I can't see. My view was obscured.
Viewed obstructed.
Yeah.
So that'll bring out, that's 15 yards that the Bulldogs will pick up, bringing up an automatic first down, and they will have the ball at their own 42-yard line with 27 seconds left to go.
And Genesee still has 2 timeouts remaining in their back pocket, so plenty of time.
Banks with Holman standing next to him. 1st and 10. Warner Hall in motion. Banks back to pass. They've got a screen on. And that's Subert with the pass up the middle. They've got some running room and blockers in front. We do see a flag on the play. Close to a first down. We'll see what the flag is.
This came from the back, the referee who was behind the play. So
it was a screen pass. I wonder if they're going to have a man downfield. We'll see what. They were awfully far down the field.
It was a long developing screen.
Oh, we did have a hold, though. We had a hold on it. So take the Subert play away and take him backwards. So they'll repeat first down. About 1st and 15 now. Great little screen there, but somebody was a little handsy.
Now only 19 seconds left. You're going to have to work quickly. You have your 2 timeouts left, so you don't have to work exclusively to the sidelines, but you've got to rip off some big chunk plays here.
And Genesee can do that as a last one, a 92-yard pass. That's a and Bowman has the speed, and he's out here far to the right. Banks calling out the signal. Good snap. Quick pass to Bowman, kind of a duck looking there, but man, Bowman's taken down hard. Short gain. That was a great play.
Oh,
Is
man.
that Pearson or Radford?
That was Radford.
Radford with the play. Now we're going to have 2nd and about 8. He picks up 7. Genesee will take a timeout.
But mistake there by Bowman. You're on the sideline.
Get out of bounds.
You got to get out of bounds.
Well, and the pass, it didn't get tipped. It just didn't come out of Banks' hands very well. It looked like a helicopter pass. It's easier to catch a helicopter pass than a spiral. So we've got 9 seconds left to go in this first half. Genesee with a 2nd and 8 midfield, and they lead 14-6 on this Wallace 2025 homecoming. And the IdahoSports.com North Idaho game night.
And it's one of 2 North Idaho game nights tonight. Also on the Palouse this evening.
Tigers.
We got Kendrick and Potlatch, another 8-man game. Nobody covers 8-man football better than IdahoSports.com. Let me tell you.
It's fun. It's fun. I like 8-man. I used to coach it at Troy a long time ago. 2nd and 8, we'll call it. 9 seconds to go for the Bulldogs. Banks takes the snap. A little backwards pass to Bowman, and Bowman looks to throw it. I think they were trying to do the old pass to the quarterback, but Banks came inside. If he would have gone deep on the outside, they might have had it. I don't know if Bowman had the arm to do it, though.
Yeah, you could tell as soon as Bowman caught it, they were trying to set up the double pass. Now just 2.7 seconds left.
The old pass to the quarterback.
Yeah.
Third down for the Bulldogs. Will they be just want to take it to halftime, or are they going to try to hit the end zone with 2.7 seconds?
Oh, no, they'll try another trick play here.
Eight-man football, I tell you what. I'm going for 6, baby.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be another trick play of some kind, or, try to get a long pass down the field, hope for a penalty. Coach Jason Hansen, he's been doing this a long time. They're going to spend their final time out to drop the play. In between his second and third coaching stints as the Genesee football coach, Jason Hansen was actually a broadcaster for IdahoSports.com.
Alumni.
So, Brian, we have so many coaches that come on and broadcast, and then I took another job. Sorry. You got to stay broadcasting with this, okay?
Gosh darn, it's tough. I love doing this as well. I miss the field, though. I love Friday Night Lights. It's fun to be down there on the field, but
can you quickly name all the places you've coached in Idaho?
Quickly? Oh boy. Well, let's see: Troy, Potlatch, Aberdeen, Twin Falls, Meridian. Oh boy, Moscow. What else? Jerome.
Lakeside. Post
Falls. I've been around, man. I'm like Johnny Cash. I've been everywhere, man. Banks back to pass. Short screen to Subert. Subert's going to have to run a long ways, and Pierce gets a good block. And Miller's right there to slow him up so he can't score. Still a big gain.
Yeah, about 22 yards.
About 22 yards to end the half. We're at halftime, folks, here at Wallace. Homecoming 2025, North Idaho game. The North Idaho game night here at IdahoSports.com. Halftime, Wallace 6. The Genesee Bulldogs 14 at halftime. It's IdahoSports.com.
Vaping sucks you in quick, and the more you vape, the harder it is to quit. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems. That's why thousands of teens are joining My Life, My Quit. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
As Idahoans, we're not afraid to take risks.
All the way. Go. All the way down.
Driving under the influence is not a risk we're willing to take. Be around to do more of what you love.
So, what's next? Your path doesn't have to look like theirs. You can do this, or this, or this. Check out in-demand jobs in Idaho and get up to $8,000 to find your thing.
Help dreams come true with the Ideal 529 Education Savings Program. Our easy-to-use tools make it simple to plan for your child's education. With tax benefits and ownership flexibility, Ideal is the perfect way to save for college, trade school, apprenticeships, K-12 education, and student loan repayment nationwide. Join us at our next webinar to learn more about the 529 plan. Enrolling takes just 15 minutes, and you can start with just $25. Visit idsaves.org to learn more.
At Valleywide Cooperative, we're here when you need us. For 100 years, we have been here to help you with food, fuel, and good old-fashioned advice. And for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life, which is why we pour so much into the communities around us. We've employed hundreds of your neighbors. We take pride in that, and in giving back millions in sponsorships, grants, donations, and scholarships. It's our way of saying thanks. We're Valleywide, and yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
We do things differently in Idaho. Sometimes we go east to find west, where muddy trails meet huckleberry smiles. Stars shine electric, and the wind smells like destiny. Sure, our traffic jams are strange, and not all our steaks are ribeyes. But wherever we go, our eyes never leave the road. Belts strapped and dreams packed, no distractions, no phones, focused. From here to there, it's who we are.
We're Valleywide Cooperative. For 100 years, we've been your first choice for residential and commercial propane, fuels, oils, and lubricants. We service HVAC, install water heaters, propane tanks, and accessories. And yes, we'll even deliver right where you need it. Because for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life. We are proud to employ your neighbors and to be a cornerstone of your community. We're Valleywide. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. We're here for you.
Once again, we have contributed to your ideal college savings program. Love, Grandma and Grandpa.
Ideal. Eventually, they'll appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you. I love it.
College costs money.
Back to Souther Field. It's homecoming in Wallace. They trail 14-6. And Brennan, it's been, up and down basically, but the 92-yard touchdown pass for Genesee, but the defense for Genesee holding the Miners 4 times in the red zone.
Yeah, and we'll talk about the game plenty, but I got to find out who is going to be homecoming royalty here tonight, Brian. The anticipation is
Sorry
killing
to
me.
interrupt.
Okay, here we go. Gus Scott, homecoming
the big
king.
man.
Senior tight end. Love it. Okay, he's going to get
Junior
coronated.
tight end, isn't it?
I think.
He's only a junior, I think, isn't he?
Senior.
Senior, all right.
Come
He's the
on.
man. He's the
Homecoming,
man.
homecoming king can't be a junior.
Can't be a junior. Come on.
Oh, yeah. Look at that sash. Look at that crown.
He's the man.
Okay, homecoming queen.
Oh, there you go.
Cool. And she'll get her crown and sash. Awesome. Congratulations to our homecoming royalty there for Wallace. And I love it. They drove their own golf carts out there. Usually, you got somebody driving you in a truck or an old hot rod or something.
Got one of those Ferraris out there or a Corvette or something, but no, not in Wallace. We got the golf carts, baby.
The best things in life are worth doing yourself.
Cadillacs.
So. That's right. No, it looks good. Congratulations. Yeah, fun homecoming here at Sather Field for sure. So yeah, you were talking. We came in expecting. We kind of came in expecting, both these teams average north of 50 points per game, and we're like, all right, here we go, shootout, track meet, lots of scoring, and not really. 14-6.
14-6 at halftime.
The defense, especially up the middle on both sides, has been stout. Each side has had a takeaway and a couple of sacks in there as well. So yeah, kind of a defensive clinic here early.
And Miller for Wallace. He tried to hit that middle the first part of the game, and he was successful. And, boy, I tell you what, Genesee has shut that down. And, boy, their defense has really shut him down. And then the Wes Holder up the middle. He stuffed that middle for Miller, and he can't run the middle anymore. They've tried the outside. Miller got away a couple times, but 4 times Bulldogs have been inside the 30-yard line and no points on the board. And then in the second quarter, when Genesee gets the ball, they held them at the 9-yard line, and boy, Banks hits Holman.
Yeah, Bowman.
Bowman on a 92-yard touchdown pass all the way to the house, and the 2-point conversion was no good. We have a 14-6 ball game.
Yeah, and I'm just feverishly
adding up the
halftime stats here. I'll have it for you in just a second, Brian. But we talked about as well the implications with this game. Both these teams in the Max Preps rankings, which is used to seed the postseason and determine who gets in and who doesn't. Wallace number 3 right now among 1A teams. So Tri-Valley is 1. Cary is 2. They're playing on IdahoSports.com tonight against Rockland. A 30-6 lead for Cary at halftime. Wallace is 3. Genesee is 4. So the winner of tonight's game not only leapfrogs the other potentially, but they could also potentially leapfrog Cary, depending on strength of schedule and things like that. So
playoff implications, and we're in week 6 now.
Week 7.
Week 7. I've lost a week somewhere. Week 7, and here we go, folks. It's playoffs not too far away. We're just looking at the Idaho Sports Friday night game stream here. Let's check a couple scores out there in the 1A ranks.
Yeah, the Friday Night Flash.
Friday Night Flash on IdahoSports.com. Right now we got North Gem defeating Mackey 52-14. That's a final. Chalice 20, Water Springs 6 in the second. Deary is all over Lakeside tonight, 38-8 in the third quarter. Council defeating, or not defeating, but ahead of Garden Valley 22-0. And Tri-Valley, this is why Tri-Valley is number one on Max Prep, 72-46 over Salmon River tonight, a final.
Wow.
So Tri-Valley strengthening their number one up there in Max Preps.
Bona fides.
And Cary up on Rockland 30-8 at the third quarter. So Tri-Valley and Cary doing their part to stay up there on the top.
Okay, I've got the yardage totals if you're ready.
We're ready.
Okay.
Yardage total for first half stats.
Yeah, let's start with let's start with Genesee. They're the team that's up on the scoreboard at halftime. 31 rushing yards, but 146 passing yards gives them 177 yards of total offense. Now, you take away that 92-yard touchdown, and you're looking at 85 yards of offense. So Wallace,
right.
If I'm Coach Jared Young in that locker room, I'm saying, hey, guys, we have literally turned it over 3 times inside their red zone. We turned it over on downs around the 30-yard line as well. So like 4 empty possessions deep into Genesee territory and 1 busted play. And otherwise we have the lead still. So, Wallace hasn't done themselves any favors. And for Genesee, they don't care. Style points doesn't matter. They've got the lead. Individually, in the first half, Noah Bowman is the leading rusher, 3 carries for 23 yards. Jackson Banks, 1 carry for 11 yards. And otherwise, Carson Warner Hall, 3 carries for -1. And Cameron Holmes, 2 carries for -2. So Warner Hall and Holmes are kind of the 2 running backs. Wallace has kept those 2 bottled up. The passing game, though, Jackson Banks, 7 of 11, 146 yards, 2 touchdowns, also threw an interception to Lennox Radford of Wallace. Leading receiver, Noah Bowman, 4 catches, 117 yards in the touchdown. Conrad Subert, 1 catch for 22 yards, and Carson Warner Hall, 2 catches for 7 yards and a touchdown there. So 177 total yards for Genesee. Wallace actually has more yards. 200 yards of total offense for Wallace. A lot of empty calories, though. Not much points to show for it. 92 yards rushing, 108 passing. It's pretty good balance, Brian.
Yeah, it is. And Wallace, just like I say, the Genesee defense gets them down inside the 30 or inside the red zone, and Wallace has not been able to punch it in. They just are getting stopped. They get down there, and it looks like they're getting down there very easily into the red zone, and then the Genesee defense is like, we'll just let them get in the red zone, and then we'll stuff them. Turnovers in the red zone, and it's kicking Wallace right now on the rear end because they should be up by 3 scores in this game right now, and I'm sure the coaches are saying, "Hey guys, we got to finish what we started. We go 75 yards on offense and can't punch it in from the 9-yard line."
Yeah, it's tough. So for Wallace, leading rusher is Cooper Miller, 12 carries for 70 yards. Now that's with a lot of sacks and a lot of negative yardage plays in there as well. Ashton Holbert, 7 carries for 21 yards, had that key fumble inside the 10-yard line on one of those possessions, and Lennox Radford, 1 carry for 1 yard tonight. Cooper Miller, 4 of 9 passing, 108 yards in the touchdown. It went to Hank Larson early on. Lennox Radford is actually the leading receiver, 2 catches for 65 yards. Larson has 2 catches for 43 yards and the touchdown. So really, Wallace tonight, they have only attempted 9 passes. Now, that's not including sacks. They have leaned more on the run tonight, and a lot of times it hasn't been there, but it's showing enough that they're able to break those big plays. But when they get in that red zone and everything gets congested, that's really where they've run into trouble.
And another key to Wallace's offense as well is the snaps, the timing between Miller and his center. How many times has Miller had to pick the ball up off the ground tonight on the snap? And that just, when you're in a pistol situation like that in a formation, everything's got to be timing-wise. And when that timing is messed up, a high snap, a low snap, and the quarterback has to worry more about ball security than the play that he's trying to do, it makes it a little more difficult. And again, Miller, as a freshman, 2,000 plus yards, but yet he's still a sophomore. So he's got to focus on that ball security before he gets that playoff. Miller's got a great arm, and I think that we're going to see in the second half, I think we'll see Miller throwing it some more.
Yeah, it's all about the timing there. And for Genesee, like we said, you take away that 92-yard touchdown, and they're trailing. Or well, I guess they're still leading 8-6.
8-6, you're right.
Well,
yeah,
actually,
it was 8-6. Yep.
Yeah, 8-6.
Before that play, yeah.
Yeah, because they did get the 2-point conversion. Banks ran it in. So, and Genesee they are winning all the small battles, right? The turnover battle is 1-1. Radford has an interception for Wallace, but Wes Holder's got the fumble recovery for the Bulldogs. Each team has a sack. But the special teams, that quick kick to kind of flip the field position, Genesee's doing just enough, the little things that don't always show up in the box score but lead to a win.
And we've called his name a lot for Genesee tonight, Wes Holder.
Yeah.
Just want to shout out to him. I mean, that kid has been he only plays he plays defense. He's not on offense. A lot of these guys are going two-way playing Ironman football, but Holder's a defensive specialist, we'll call him. And he's a nose for Genesee, and I tell you what, he has plugged up the middle on Wallace, and Wallace is unable to run up the middle now.
And this is going to be a critical opening possession of this third quarter because Genesee gets the ball. Wallace got the ball to start. So if you're Genesee and you march it down the field and you go up 2 scores, the way possessions have been fairly low tonight. And so you got to feel pretty good about that. And for Wallace defensively, okay, we need to rise to the challenge and get another stop here, give our offense a chance to get the lead back. Very interesting. Halftime on North Idaho game night, Kendrick 52, Potlatch 0. And honestly,
Kendrick is just they're
good. in 2A football this year, nobody is going to touch Kendrick.
Kendrick is and again, I look at that conference and Kendrick's got some great athletes on it. Don't get me wrong, but who's from in the South in the 2A? I'm not sure who's leading.
Grace is 5-1.
Grace and so
there's Hagerman. They've already played Kendrick. Valley's already played Kendrick. Rat River's okay this year. It really is Kendrick.
Yeah, Kendrick is dominating that 2A classification and looking to take fifth years back to back.
Yes, to be their fifth in a row.
Fifth in a row. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to start the third quarter.
Do want to thank our Genesee Power Boosters tonight real quick. PNW Farmers Co-op, North Idaho Crushing, Strom Electric, and Shorts Funeral Chapel.
Wallace to kick off, and a scrub kick on the field, and it'll go out of bounds. So both teams not wanting to kick it deep tonight.
And some teams just can't. Some teams just don't have the kicker. It's not like the bigger schools where you can borrow somebody from the soccer team.
Got a big leg. No big legs.
The last really good kicker in 1A football was at Garden Valley 2 years ago, foreign exchange student from Germany, Timo Benzinger. And he'd kick a lot, and they'd Timo. But obviously soccer background coming from Germany.
So Genesee's going to get the ball near midfield on their own 49-yard line, 1st and 10. And here we go, third quarter. Banks with the handoff to Holmes, and Holmes is going to pick up about 3 before he's dragged down.
Yeah, tough sledding out there.
And that's Pierce. Yeah, Pearson, right?
Yeah, Marley Pierce.
Pierce on the tackle. 2nd and 8 for the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs can really just run clock all night now. They're up. But I don't think that's what they do. 8-man football, they're going to stick it to us all. If they go up 2 scores right here, it's going to be tough for Wallace to come back unless they have some turnovers or something like that happen.
Yeah.
Which we've had turnovers this game, so anything can happen. Banks calling out the single. Warner Hall in motion. Fakes the handoff to Warner Hall, takes it himself, Banks up the middle. It's going to be enough for a first down, a gain of 9 for the Bulldogs.
And Banks is, a tall runner. They don't have the heights listed here on the Genesee roster, but he's got to be 6'3" and runs well and knows how to stretch for the first down.
1st and 10 in minor territory on the Wallace 41-yard line. And the Bulldogs lead 14-6. Twins left, Twins right. In motion is Holmes. Holmes sets up in the backfield with Banks. Banks hands off to Holmes. Holmes got some blocks up in front of him. He's got a first down and more. Got some blockers out front, follows his blockers, first down. That'll be a 13-yard gain for Holmes for another first down for the Bulldogs. And right now the Bulldogs getting it done on the ground.
And Holmes says, finally, first time tonight he's actually broken free for a long gain, and good blocking downfield from the receivers there too. And this is what Genesee wants to do, impose their will, establish that run, wear down Wallace, take time off the clock.
And as they are taking time in the huddle here, running clock, they know that Wallace is a very high offensive team and want to keep the offense off the field, even though most of the defenders play offense as well. Banks, pack to pass. Little screen pass. Subert had a man hanging on to him. looked like Charlie Stone had a little hand up there, but no call there. Incomplete pass. It'll be 2nd and 10.
He got called for one earlier tonight, kind of a similar play. You know, I was talking to Jason Hansen, the Genesee coach pregame, and he said, you know, this is the first time we've been 4-0 in a while. He said, honestly, this is the first time IdahoSports.com has covered one of our games. And he said the kids were kind of nervous about that. And he said, I told them, hey, just relax. It's just like any other game. But Genesee, they've been down for a couple of years, and so it's nice to see them back near the top.
Banks back to pass. Open is Bowman again. Bowman makes a great move, and he's going to score, but oh no. Cloth on the field. I think they're going to bring it back. Would have been a 29-yard touchdown, but holding by the offense, and they will bring it back. I tell you what, Bowman made a move on the defender over there.
He dropped like a bowling pin, just knock him over. You could see Banks was pretty frustrated as he goes over to that Genesee sideline. He was kind of, I can't believe it.
Just a great pass of Banks to Bowman, and it's just taken right off because of holding.
It's been a fairly clean game in the penalty department, outside of the kickoffs that keep going out of bounds for both teams. But
so that'll bring up a long 2nd and 15 for the Bulldogs. Takes them clear back to the 38-yard line. Takes a 29-yard touchdown pass right off the board. Banks barks out the signal, takes a snap. Short pass to Subert, and Subert is, Radford hit him first, but Subert's going to get maybe a gain of 2.
Yeah, Pierce and Williams kind of helped finish off the play there, 3rd and very long.
Reese Williams was over there as well. He's clear over the other side. He was over there to help too.
Yeah, Williams and Pierce were the two that ended up bringing him down.
3rd and 15. We'll call it about 17, folks. It's a long way to go for the Bulldogs. You know, if Wallace could stop here and get their offense on the field, it would help them a ton right now. Warner Hall, a quick little pitch, and right there is Pierce. And Pierce will take him back down. Pierce right up the middle on the linebacker blitz. And another backward play by the Bulldogs, another -6. Tackle for loss by Pierce. What a great play. Warner Hall was in motion, and Banks tried to do a little shuffle pass forward, and right in the arms of Pierce.
And you think Pierce is the heartbeat of this team. You saw him firing up the sideline after he made that stop. I think Genesee may go for the quick kick again here. Radford is kind of playing as the deep safety / return
4th and 20 for the Bulldogs. I don't think they want to give him the ball right here, but they are going to pass to Warner Hall, and no dice. And, you know, it might have been better to do the quick kick there, but they go for it, and Wallace holds on defense right at the midfield, and they will take over on downs on offense on their own 40-yard line. And that was big for Wallace right there.
Because that pass only went 4 or 5
pass
yards.
would have been a 4-yard pass.
So Coach Hansen banking on his defense, saying, I trust my guys to stop Wallace, even though they've got it in pretty decent field position here at their own 40.
Bronson Basham in for the Bulldogs defense. Hand off to Bowman. Gets 5.
No, this is Wallace on offense now. Holbert.
I'm sorry, my bad.
No, you're
Switch
good.
sheets. That was Holbert. Holbert, folks. Jeez. I always switch my sheets the first time. It was third quarter before I made a mistake tonight. It was good.
Yeah, you're getting better, Brian.
Only the third quarter.
Preseason's over.
There you go. Yeah. Miller with the I formation, taking the snap.
They fumbled in this formation last time.
And nothing there. Radford gets taken down hard, and there's the man again, the defensive specialist, Wes Holder, for the Bulldogs. And that'll be a loss of about 2. It'll be 3rd and 8 for the Miners.
Yeah, and that was Lennox Radford on the carry there. It's just when they go under center, the backs are spaced out so far apart. These are long handoffs, and Genesee's coming with their ears pinned back.
Blake Rose in for the Miners at wide receiver. 3rd and 8. Miller keeps the ball, trying to look to get some room, and the edge is not there. And that's a great play by Bowman. And he will lose 2. It'll take him to the original line of scrimmage. It'll be 4th and 10. Tackle for loss. And 4th and 10, 4th and 9, we'll call it.
Yeah, loss of a yard there for Miller. And Genesee Coach Hansen, trusted his defense. They've delivered.
Now Miller's got a gun. We'll see what he throws here. Good snap. Miller's back to pass. They're coming with the blitz. Miller's trying to get the edge, trying to get outside, get the first down. He's really close, but I think he's going to be short by about a yard.
Really
picks
close.
Picks up 8.5, and he needed 9. And the Bulldogs will take over once again at midfield. Battle of midfield right here.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, that was Carson Warner Hall who came up and forced Miller out of bounds there, about a half yard shy of the marker, like you said, Brian. Again, one of those little plays that doesn't show up in the box score, but could contribute to a win.
Right now, my players of the game would be the Genesee defense.
All 8 of them.
All 8 of them. Banks takes a snap. He's got a man deep, and it's Bowman again. That's going to be a big gain. About a 25, 20, 30 yard.
Yeah, from the 48 down to the.
Okay, here we go. Math. We're going to check your math out, Brandon.
What are you going to mark this at?
The 22-yard line.
So from the 48 to the 22.
Bowman again. Banks to Bowman. B&B tonight for the Bulldogs.
26 yards.
1st and 10, a 26-yard reception by Bowman. And the Bulldogs are on the move. 5:45 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Genesee leads 14-6. And a big stop right there, and it's Pierce. Pierce takes Holmes down immediately for a tackle for loss of about 2. Well, I tell you, Pierce is the man in the middle for the Miners.
And he plays exclusively defense, and they say, hey, your strength is getting after guys. We'll leave you to it.
Pierce coming up with I think he might have a little cramp in his ankle out there. His calf, maybe.
And say you can't really get a cramp in the ankle. No muscle there, just tendons.
Calf. You got a calf cramp. Moo. Nothing in the ankle. Banks hands off to, it's Warner Hall. Short gain to Warner Hall. It'll be 3rd and 11.
That was Rossi Korosik on the tackle there for Wallace.
Big Rossi Korosik. I tell you, Wallace has got some height. I'd like to coach their basketball team. Holy mackerel.
Well, the only
6'3" guys.
The only problem is in their conference, they've got a guy named Tyson Charlie that
Yeah,
plays for
that's
Lakeside.
Lakeside. Yeah, that's right. 3rd long for the Bulldogs. Warner Hall in motion again, and they try a little trick play, and Wallace says no dice. That's Larson on the play. Didn't trick him at all. They try to do a little razzle-dazzle behind the back to Bowman, and I think Larson's probably seen that one before.
Yeah, Hank Larson full speed ahead, and boy, that's a loss of about 9 on that carry there.
4th and about 16 for the Bulldogs. 3:40 left to go in the 3rd quarter. 14-6. We haven't seen a score yet in the 3rd quarter. Banks gets a high snap. Blitz is on. And we got flags flying everywhere.
Both right at the line of scrimmage here, so.
Pass was intended for Subert. Got a holding on Genesee. It's declined. And it'll be 1st down Wallace. So I tell you what, between the 20s right now in the 3rd quarter, it's been a battle. Nobody can get past it. Nobody can get in the red zone so far.
Nobody saw this coming tonight. With Wallace and Genesee and the point totals they've been putting up this year, 14-6 with 3:32 to play in the 3rd.
I expected to come see 100 points put up tonight. I was like, but
Well,
I like this. I like this too, though.
You should have gone to Potlatch then. Watch Kendrick play.
They've been put up a couple times this year. Miller takes a snap, takes himself, try to get up the middle. Got a little more running room this time. Get a gain there. It's brought down by Preston Cass. Takes him down after about a 4-yard gain. 2nd and 6. 3 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. And both defenses stepping up tonight so far.
You just kind of hold your breath whenever Miller runs it because you know he can break it. Had a couple. Really, it's been big plays tonight for Wallace. The play-to-play hasn't been there.
Scott wide to the left. Jackson fakes the handoff, takes it himself. Or Miller, takes it around the end, trying to find it something. Gets about 4 before he's taken down. Keeps it himself. Miller gains 4. We got about a 3rd and manageable 2 with 2.5 left to go in the 3rd.
I think this is a prime time to give it right to Holbert, see if he can get the edge. They're going to expect Miller to keep the ball in his hands here. Two-down territory. Obviously, none of these teams want to punt tonight. So,
and here's that I formation, what has not been successful for them when Miller goes underneath the center. Hits the up man, the fullback, and they do hit it this time for a gain of 6.
That was big Hank Larson. Actually, let me double check that. Yeah, that's Hank Larson, number 5.
Larson gets 5. And they did find the edge there. That's the first time that formation has been successful for the Miners this evening. 1st and 10 for the Miners at their own 40. 1:40 to go in the 3rd quarter. This game is just rolling by, Brad. It's a defensive stop by each team. Miller under center. Hands off to Larson. And nothing to it there. They saw it one time, gave him 5 yards. Now this time it's going to be a tackle for loss.
As Jackson Banks sticking his nose in there on the stop for Genesee. No gain.
A loss of 1, 2nd 11. Miners trying to look for something. I tell you, the I formation is not just with the Miller under center. It hasn't been successful for him.
Yeah, probably 1 out of about 4 times they've gone under tonight. It's worked.
We're under a minute left to go in the 3rd quarter. 2nd and 10. Miller decides to take it himself, trying to get around the end. He's got a room. He's got one man to beat to the end zone. Still up on his feet. He's still running. And they're the only man to catch him. And to save the touchdown was Wes Holder.
30-yard run there for
Big
Miller.
gain, Miller, 30-yard gain. And if it wasn't for Holder coming from the nose guard position, Miller would have scored.
Great job to peel back as the nose and go catch him.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Miners on the 29. Here they are, banging on the door again. 26 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Hand off to Holbert. Holbert gets up the middle. He's got a few blockers. He's going to get about 7 or 8 before he's hit hard there. Getting about 7. We'll call it 2nd and 3, and I do believe that'll be the end of the third quarter.
Yeah, it's going to take us to the end of the frame.
So we're going to be in the third quarter. We're here at Wallace, Homecoming 2025, the Idaho Sports North Idaho Game Night on IdahoSports.com. We'll be right back after these messages.
At Valleywide Cooperative, we're here when you need us. For 100 years, we have been here to help you with food, fuel, and good old-fashioned advice. And for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life, which is why we pour so much into the communities around us. We've employed hundreds of your neighbors. We take pride in that, and in giving back millions in sponsorships, grants, donations, and scholarships. It's our way of saying thanks. We're Valleywide, and yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
Back here at Souther Field, the home of the Wallace Miners, their homecoming night, and right now they trail 14-6 to the Genesee Bulldogs.
And big implications here. Wallace 5-0, Genesee 4-0. Somebody's taking that first L of the season tonight. 1 quarter to figure it out.
And also very important for the Max Preps rankings as well. We have the number 3 and number 4 teams tonight. Wallace sitting at number 3, as we said before, and Genesee at number 4, so they can leapfrog Genesee if they can hang on to this lead. We're in the fourth quarter. They lead 14-6, and here comes the Miners again knocking on the door. Miller under center. Fakes the handoff. Looking to throw. He's got a man open, and double actually wasn't really open. Double coverage, and that's Larson with a catch there for the first down. They're going to get a gain of
it's about 19 yards.
19 yards.
It looks like Hank's cramping up at the end of that play. Like you said, that was kind of well covered by Genesee.
Boy, that was great coverage, and Larson just got over top. Great throw by Miller.
Now, let me tell you something about Hank Larson. Great kid. He was the starting quarterback as a freshman. Cooper Miller was in 8th grade. So Cooper comes next, last year, and they say, Hank, we need you to play receiver for the betterment of the team. Okay, sounds good. Season-ending injury. Doesn't get to play at all. He's back this year, and you can see that renewed vim and vigor there. Now, also, during the basketball season, Cooper Miller and Hank Larson play basketball for Wallace, but they are also student broadcasters for the girls' basketball games.
There we go.
I actually came out here last year for a Lakeside Wallace girls basketball game, kind of a co-op between IdahoSports.com and the Wallace students, and me and Cooper Miller and Hank Larson all broadcast this girls basketball game together.
That's awesome. When I was at CUNA as the athletic director, I had Ethan McElhargy came out, and we did a basketball game together, and that was a lot of fun. So
and the media teacher at the school is Jared Young, the football coach.
There you go. Perfect. When CUNA would do it, they started out. They did like ESPN. They'd have a game night. They'd have signs behind them, and
that's cool.
They'd have their jackets on, but they had shorts underneath the table because it was all above. They did
right.
Fun, so.
That's how I do all my podcasts. It's shorts underneath and a nice shirt up top.
1st and 10. First and goal for the Miners. They're inside the 10 at the 9-yard line, knocking on the door. Miller keeps it himself. He's got some blockers ahead. He's going to get almost there. He's right to the goal line before he stopped. Looked like he was going to get in right there. Nice block by the offensive line. And that was, he followed Korosek. Korosek's a big man.
So they went to that I formation again where Miller was under center, and they basically ran like a counter, but Miller kept it on the counter. Faked left, went to the right, and like you said, almost got in, but down to the 1.
Second goal for the Miners. They've got to hit this one right here. A little tush-push formation here. And there they do. And they're gonna touchdown Miners. So they got in the push formation, and Miller gets in, keeps it himself, and we have a 12-14 ball game right now, folks. And Wallace can tie it up here with the 2-point conversion.
This is obviously stating the obvious, with 10:58 to play, a critical 2-point conversion.
A little delayed play they did last time. It might be a good one to run right here. Miller in the pistol. Blockers to his left. He's going to follow him. Can he get in?
No.
He did not make it. He is stopped by the Genesee defense, and we have a 12-14 ball game. Genesee still leads. They keep that 2-point margin. And I tell you what, folks, the 2-point conversion we talked about earlier in the first half, very important in these ball games because the Miners are 0 for 2.
Well, Genesee's only 1 for the two teams combined are only 1 for 4 on the conversions tonight.
That's right. So, but that one conversion is going to be right now the make and break. We got 10:58 left to go in the ball game. The Miners trail by 2.
Once again, we have contributed to your ideal college savings program. Love, Grandma and Grandpa.
Ideal. Eventually, they'll appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you. I love it.
College costs money.
Back here at Souther Field, Brian Hall, Brandon Beatty. 12-14 your score. Genesee leads by 2. The onside kick only goes about 8 yards.
Oh, they're trying to say Genesee touched it. This could be a key moment.
This could be huge right here. They said Genesee touched it. I thought we had one Genesee Bulldog went by the ball.
It was Jackson Banks, too, that was up there for Genesee. Oh, this is going to be a pivotal discussion with our officials.
And
they ruled
that they touched it. They're going to give the ball to Wallace. Nope, now they've changed their minds. Oh. Now it goes to Genesee. Oh, they're pulling heartstrings tonight, folks.
That's a black hat being overruled by the white hat, the head official.
And, you know, up here from the booth, it didn't look like they touched it, but down there they obviously had some discussion, and so.
Let me segue to a promo here, Brian. Both coaching staffs are going to want to watch the replay of this and go right to this play, and you can own a replay of the game. You can tell us more about it after this next play. How's that for
first and 10 for the Bulldogs. Chain gang not set up yet. Banks hands off. Warner Hall gets the carry, and he's going to gain 8 yards.
So you can own a digital copy of this game by clicking the download link at the top of your player as you're watching this.
2nd and 8 for the Bulldogs. They're quickly running the ball again. Banks keeps himself up the middle. He gains about 6, but there is a flag on the play. Make the memories last a lifetime by owning the digital game file of this game for just $15. Just click the download archive button to order yours today.
Like I said, both coaching staffs are going to want to go back and look at that onside kick, and I am too when I get home tonight off the.
So the penalty against the Bulldogs moves them back after they did such a good job of going forward there. And now it's going to be a 2nd and 12. 10:27 left to go in this ball game. A 14-12 game. Great defensive stops on both sides tonight after both teams averaging 50-plus points a game.
And that clock will still roll even after the penalty.
Banks in the pistol. Had a little movement before the snap. They're not going to call it. Banks back to pass. Throws the ball up. And Warner Hall was, like he was being held, but they're not going to call it.
It's our guy Charlie Stone again. He's been in on a lot of.
There was no back judge on that one. I was just wondering where the back judge was on that one. But anyway, so it'll bring a 3rd and 10.
It's a good cancellation because Genesee, the running back, false started. Wallace probably gets away.
On that game.
Wallace probably gets away with the hold there defensively.
So it's going to be 3rd and a long 12, it looks like. Which would be a 13 if it was long, I guess. But 10 minutes on the clock exactly. And Genesee leads 14-12. The Miners trying to get the defensive stop here and get the ball back. Pierce on a blitz. Handoff to Warner Hall. He's got a blocker ahead. He's going to gain 5, 7. Trying to get through it. He gets the ball. He gets another block. He's still on his feet. Warner Hall still on his feet. He's down to the 15-yard line. Warner Hall shake and bake for 35 yards.
Yeah, it's about a 37-yard run.
37-yard run by Warner Hall. At least 4 or 5 Miners had their hands on him for the tackle.
You know what the key was? He stopped on the sideline. He was about 5 yards shy of the first down marker, and the Wallace guys thought we've got him. He stopped, completely stopped. The Wallace guys all went past him, and then he kept going. That was a great
move by Warner Hall.
Yes, wow.
So 9:26 left to go, and the Bulldogs now knocking on the door. Twin set. Banks by himself. Back to passes Banks. Quick pass to the big man, tight end. It's a touchdown, uncovered. And that's Preston Cass. Preston Cass, a tight end. In that formation, nobody picked him up. The tight end seam is what we call that. Touchdown, Bulldogs.
And that was from about 15 yards out there.
15-yard touchdown. Banks to Cass. And that extends the Bulldog lead 20-12.
And that's one because Cass has been one of the 3 linemen tonight, but because of the formation, it looked like he was a guard, but really a tight end, eligible. Again, that's just a savvy call.
And the twin set on the left side, they made sure they stepped back because they were both on the – one was covering him up, they uncovered him, and a tight end seam pass perfectly executed. Banks keeps the ball, looking to pass the ball for the 2-point conversion. And there's flags down, bodies down, and an incomplete pass, but I think we're going to get a
mulligan.
I think we're going to get a pass interference in the end zone.
Yeah, mulligan for Genesee here to try the.
Yep.
And this is Wallace has to get the stop here, otherwise it's a 2-possession game.
With 9-1-1, yes, folks, 9-1-1 left to go in the game. It's an emergency for the Miners right now.
Now they'll go from the 1.
So Bulldogs will get a second chance at the 2-point conversion, which now would be 1 for 5, but the penalty is on 2-point conversions. Banks and Holmes in the backfield. Warner Hall in motion. Banks keeps it himself, and he's in. 2-point conversion for the Bulldogs. Makes it a 2-possession game, 22-12 with 9:11 left to go. You're listening to and watching IdahoSports.com game stream.
As Idahoans, we're not afraid to take risks.
All the way, all the way. Go. All the way down, all the way down.
Driving under the influence is not a risk we're willing to take. Be around to do more of what you love.
Back here on North Idaho Game Night on IdahoSports.com. 9:11 left to go in the game, and the Miners are in the emergency situation as they're down 2 possessions, 22-12 right now to the Genesee Bulldogs.
Yeah, 15-yard touchdown pass from Banks to Cass, and then a penalty, and Banks runs in the 2-point conversion.
Squib kick again, picked up by the Miners.
Now it's gut check time. Now Wallace, last year I was here in the regular season finale against Lakeside. It was around this point of the fourth quarter. They were down 2 scores. They were actually down like 14 points, so it was a little bigger. They rallied back and won, but it required a touchdown, a turnover, and a touchdown.
Anything can happen with 9 minutes left to go in an 8-man football game.
That's right.
A lot of game left in an 8-man game. 1st and 10 for the Miners at their own 46-yard line. Miller with the snap. Looking deep. He's trying to get it all in one. Good coverage downfield. A little bumping, but not anything. Nothing good. Good coverage there. Pass intended to Larson again. And on the coverage, Bowman for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, and that's one where I think Larson just kind of ran into, initiated the contact.
Trying to get the contact. This brings up a 2nd and 10. I'm impressed by Miller. He's just a sophomore, but the arm that kid has, it's amazing. He can throw a long ways. And it's on a dime. It's not, I mean, it's a tight spiral that you don't see from a lot of quarterbacks. Miller sitting with a 2nd and 10 right now. And I don't think he's ready for the snap. And here they come. He's going to try to get around the edge and make it positive yards out of the snap. He's going to get a few. He's going to get 5. But, boy, again, the timing on the snap. He had to go back behind him and pick up the ball. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 5.
I mean, that clearly was supposed to be on 2. Ball got snapped on 1.
And Genesee Cass was coming off the edge quickly.
Yeah.
So as the clock runs, we've got 8.5 minutes left to go. And the Miners need to find something quick.
Cooper Miller's dad, Corey Miller, the offensive coordinator for Wallace. Griff Rasmussen, the defensive coordinator. And then Jared Young kind of oversees the whole operation. These 3 have been coaching together a long time. That continuity has led to a lot of success.
And Genesee plugging up the middle. Miller will get back to the line of scrimmage. And, boy, Genesee had every run path taken that time. It's going to bring up a 4th down for the Miners. They're going to give him a gain of 1, it looks like.
Yeah, it's going to be 4th and 5 here.
7:50 left to go. The Miners trail 22-12. Can the Bulldogs hold once again, or will the Miners keep knocking?
And Wallace remarkably calm. I mean, they're just confident, break the huddle, let's see what we can do.
Miller back to pass. He's got to get rid of it. Larson, and throws it just out of bounds. Miller, the pressure was coming, and Miller had to throw the ball and try to get it to the line for only Larson, but incomplete. That'll be a change down, and the Bulldog defense holds once again tonight.
I kept thinking in my head that backside pressure's coming, and Miller was waiting and waiting. I'm like, he's going to get clobbered and fumble, and he got it off just in time.
He was telling the receiver to come back, and we both saw the 2 Bulldogs coming in pressure, and it was needed to get rid of that ball quickly.
And that was the problem. They only needed 6. All the routes were, 15, 16 yards downfield.
So the Bulldogs take over right at midfield, 1st and 10, with the lead. Banks keeps it himself, finds a seam. He's going to get about 8-yard gain. And the Bulldogs right now just run clock. They're up by 10. No hurry. 7:05 left to go in the ball game.
I mean, Genesee's got the 2-score lead. They've got the confidence. They've got the mojo. Everything's just working right now.
Join Idaho Sports Nation on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Watch Prepcast and get updates, breaking news, pictures, and more. 2nd and about 2 for the Bulldogs. Banks with a host of backs beside him. taking their time. Banks will keep it again, looking for something there. And Korosek says nada. So no gain, 3rd and 5. 6:20 left to go.
Another crucial 3rd down here, and obviously a 2-down territory, so Wallace has got to get not 1 but 2 stops here.
You know, if they don't pick up the 1st down, do a little quick kick, get him in the corner down here a little bit, and flip side of the field.
I think they'll just go for it.
I think on this side of the field they will. And the Banks hands off there to Holmes, and Holmes gets back to the line of scrimmage. 4th down.
As Marley Pierce again charging through, and I'm going to guess he's going to be hitting that A gap again here on 4th and 5.
5.5 minutes to go. The Miners trail by 12, or by, 10. Do my math. 22-12, folks. That's 10 points. Just saying.
2-possession game.
Coach Hall doesn't do math. 4th and 5 for the Bulldogs. Banks barking out the signals, taking his time. Back to passes Banks. He's got pressure. He's got Subert for a 1-yard gain. That's not enough, and the Miners defense holds.
That was not sure who made the tackle there for Wallace, but well defended across all fronts.
So, you know, you need 5 yards, and you run a route that's at the back of the line of scrimmage, maybe a screen play. The screen wasn't set up very well there. So the Miners take over with 4:58 left to go in the game. Now Miller's got the gun and the arm to do it, and they don't need it on one play, but they certainly can. And there's a long pass. Subert in coverage, and Radford can't run it down.
It's all deep shots here. They can do some intermediate routes, hit the middle. They haven't done anything in the middle of the field. It's been all sidelines tonight.
There hasn't been a middle pass across the middle except for their middle screen, and that didn't work so well for them.
But if you can get past that front line of the defense, that 10 to 12-yard range, I mean, there's a lot of open space there.
And the way the Bulldogs have been rushing up the middle, that little 10-yard cut across the middle, a little tight end slant or something like that, they have not used the big man, the big tight end, Gus Scott, tonight. 2nd and 10 for the Miners. Miller back to pass. He feels the pressure, and he's going to be taken down for a sack. And once again, we'll say his name. 44, Wes Holder on the sack.
That's now 2 sacks and a fumble recovery.
2 sacks and a fumble recovery. I think he caused that fumble, too. So it's going to bring up.
Well, it was just a bad handoff.
Well, he was in the backfield. I would give that to him, too. 3rd and 10 for the Miners. 4:20 left to go in the ballgame. Miller takes a snap. He's back to pass. Got a man open. And that right there is Larson. And they're going to get the 1st down. It's up for 1st down. That's going to be a gain of 15 yards. Miller to Larson, 1st and 10 for the Miners.
There's that intermediate route we talked about, that 10 to 14-yard range, and it's been there. Might have to work a little more quickly now. 4:07 to play.
They're on the Bulldog 41-yard line. And the clock is against the Miners right now. Looking deep again. What a pass! That ball was 60 yards in the air, folks. And holy mackerel! And that's Bradford. And Bradford comes up a little. I don't know if it's just a.
That doesn't look good. You may have to make
Bradford's going to be all right. But boy, I tell you what, the arm on this kid Miller is. Bradford's going to come off.
Holding that hamstring. That's a tough one. Yeah, he goes to the sideline and just hops down. So
it'll bring up a 2nd and 10 for the Miners. But I tell you what, folks, that pass was 60 yards in the air.
They're trying to get that hammy stretched out right now for Radford.
Miller takes a snap. He's going to take it himself. He's got Scott out as blocking. He's got 10, 15, 20 yards, 15. He may score, and he does. He takes it all the way in. That's going to be the 41-yard touchdown by Miller. Cooper Miller, 41-yard touchdown on the run and out in front. Great blocking was Gus Scott to make it happen. The big man up front, he rumbles in 41 yards for the touchdown. 18-22. Wallace trails with 3:43 left to go in the game.
Now, ironically, this two-point conversion.
Big.
Well, I mean, not really. I mean,
well, it's still going to be down there.
They're still going to be down. Yeah. So, watch. This is the one they'll get.
Miller keeps the ball. He's looking to pass it. Pressure up the middle. Doesn't have a lot of time, and Warner Hall is going to take him, and it is no good. Take him down. Also on the pressure there was Isaac McLaughlin. So McLaughlin and Warner Hall, little team tackle there, and the conversion is no good. Wallace trails Genesee 22-18 with 3:43 left to go in the ball game.
Vaping sucks you in quick, and the more you vape, the harder it is to quit. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems. That's why thousands of teens are joining My Life, My Quit. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
Welcome back to Sather Field here in beautiful North Idaho. We have the North Idaho Game Night on IdahoSports.com. Brian Hall, Brandon Bainey.
Sather Field, home of the wooden bleachers. We found out tonight they got those from Silverwood a couple of years ago. The amusement park.
Great donation.
In Athol. Yeah. Onside kick time.
Onside kick time gets a good bounce, and Subert picks it up for Genesee. 3:40 left to go. The Genesee Bulldogs are in the lead 22-18. The Miners need to have a big defensive stop here. They've been good on defense most of the night, except for a couple plays.
Now
you think about the 92-yard touchdown pass earlier on in the game, and we got a tight ball game. I mean, it's tight as it is right now, but
we've got an injured Wallace Miner on that far sideline right over by the Genesee coaching staff. And that was a double owie because it came one play after Ashton Holbert fumbled at the 6-yard line. And I mean.
Yeah, a 6-yard line, and he fumbled the ball there, and then a 92-yard pass after that. No.
That last touchdown, Cooper Miller from 41 yards out. You can tell sometimes he just says, I'm running with it. Good luck.
Well, and Gus Scott, the big man, was out in front and had the lead block. And if we haven't called Gus Scott's number a lot. Injured on the play.
It's Reese Williams.
Reese Williams.
Key defensive end and offensive guard, and he is just hopping on one foot. So that's going to be significant. He's been really great at the point of attack tonight. And it looks like they're going to go with Korosik out there. And Holbert and Strange.
At the nose.
Yeah. A little bit of a bigger nose this time to stop that. They had Strange in there earlier. He's a little small.
You look at Wallace right here, just while they're lined up there. You got Korosik and Pierce lined up. Nose guard and middle linebacker. Just the two biggest guys out there right now. There's the tallest guys. There's big boys. And here comes Genesee, 1st and 10. And Banks may just keep it to run some clock here. Twins formation. Banks a quick pass, and that is over to Bowman, the leading receiver tonight. And a small gain of about, they're going to give it, bigger gain. They got a few after he caught it.
Yeah.
Gain of about 6, be 2nd and 4 for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, Bowman kept going, kept the legs churning, got all the way to the 49-yard line.
And the clock still runs. 3:14 left to go in this ball game.
Gut check time for both of these programs.
Oh, both these teams, look for them later on this year in the playoffs. I think they'll both make it. Banks looking to pass, looking to end this ball game, and he's got the man, and it's Bowman again, and he had to beat Radford, and he got clear down to the 10-yard line. 35-yard pass from Banks to Bowman, and that's going to really put the pressure on the Miners now, or it's going to be 1st and goal.
Yeah, 39 yards from the 49 down to the 12. That's pretty impressive.
2:25 left to go in the ball game, and Genesee is now in a point where they've got control of this ball game. Hang on to the ball, run the clock. I guess they are just outside of the 10-yard line. 1st and 10. Banks hands off to Warner Hall. Warner Hall gets loose, and he downs it at the 1. So they don't want to give Miners too much time.
They want Wallace to use those timeouts, and Wallace is going to use their first
Wallace
one here.
will use their first timeout. Warner Hall gets the knee at the 1-yard line, doesn't take it in.
Now I'm trying to see where they spot this. They have spotted this back at the 4, it looks like. Maybe even the 5, right?
Oh, it looked like he was at the 1-yard line, but he's
down
at the 4. He's down at about the 4, yeah. So 2:02 left to go. I don't know, just get the score. He had it wide open. Warner Hall could have run it in, and he downed the ball. They would have been up by 2 scores with 2 minutes left to go. I don't know, take the score.
So I said previously that last 2-point conversion for Wallace didn't matter. It kind of did, because that would have made it a 2-point. Now, because you could have stopped, if you give up a touchdown and you stop Genesee on the 2-point conversion, then it's an 8-point game. If Genesee scores here, just the 6 would give them an 8-point lead. Yep. And then if they got the 2-point conversion, we're back to 10. So I rescind my earlier remark, Brian.
I don't know, and as a coach, I guess I just like to see him. That puts pressure on if I get 6 more, but I don't know. That's just me. So
I don't mind this, because you want
Bulldogs will be second and about 3, it looks like, so they can get a first down. And a big blitz right there. We know who that is. That's Pierce. The big man comes right at the middle. Says, "Oh, you're not going to score a touchdown on me? Well, I'm going to make you go backwards 5 yards." So tackle for loss is Pierce, and it'll be 3rd and 8 now for the Bulldogs with 1:58 left to go, and we have a timeout.
And by Wallace again.
By the Miners.
So Carson Warner Hall loses 6 there, so maybe now that decision to take the knee, you can start to second guess a little more.
Check out our expanded list of regional prepcasts. Our resident experts talk about what's going on in the part of the state you live in. Be sure to catch the new regional prepcast each week on IdahoSports.com or by downloading the new episodes wherever you get your podcasts. You can also watch each episode on the IdahoSports.com YouTube channel.
The first state championships of the year are next week, Brian. State golf, 6A, 5A golf.
State golf. And volleyball's in districts now, aren't they?
No.
Not quite?
Regular season.
Another week?
A couple weeks.
Okay. Well, volleyball's getting close to that.
Soccer, I think, is the next one.
Banks keeps on 3rd and 8. Lowers his shoulder and goes backwards. Yeah, forward progress. They're going to give him. Then the clock is stopped. Another timeout. It's going to be 4th and 8. No gain. At 1:49 left to go. This ball game's not over yet, folks.
Brian, if Genesee cannot convert on this 4th and 9, well, let's see. They're going to move it up, so they do give Banks about 3 yards there. So it's about 4th and 5.
Forward progress, so 4th and 5.
But same principle. If Genesee doesn't convert on this 4th and 5, and Wallace goes down and takes the lead. The decision to take the knee when it was Carson Warner Hall had a wide open path to the end zone.
That's what I'm saying. Put the pressure on your opponent. That's the coach. Coach says put the pressure on.
I will stand by my earlier. I liked it.
Get the score.
Good process. Might be a bad result.
So 4th and 5 for the Bulldogs. Big down here. They spread the offense. 4 receivers, a slant play to Subert, and they're gonna say he's down before the end zone.
Oh, that's even better for Genesee.
But it's a 1st and goal. Oh, they're gonna call it 1st and goal. We're still looking at the sticks over here. 1st and goal on the Subert slant there. And now Genesee has the ball game, but I won't say that. I can't say that yet. I think if they punch one in here, they still got 1:25 left to go. And Banks making sure that he's got plenty of clock run off.
I think they're going to knee it. Yep.
And they do.
So that was, 4th and 5, a 6-yard slant to Subert. He had to slide to get it.
It looked like he was in.
Didn't score, which is even better for Genesee because now that allows them to take this time out. Wallace can't stop the clock anymore.
No.
They're out of timeouts. Yeah,
2nd and goal now.
I think it's over. Genesee
under a minute, they're going to let the clock run. And Wallace is taking their timeouts, and they cannot stop the clock. And Genesee is going to sneak out of here on Wallace's homecoming with the victory.
Gutsy win tonight for Genesee.
And Banks takes another down, and the clock runs. We're at 30 seconds left to go. And ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be the ball game. Our final, ruining Wallace's homecoming tonight. The Genesee Bulldogs come into town and defeat Wallace 22-18. We'll come back with the player of the game right after these messages on IdahoSports.com.
Out there. He's going to look that way. No way to go, though. He's going to jump past to Brendan Heward as we might have a candidate for our IdahoSports.com Play of the Week. Great play.
To the left here. Buck out, circles back, throws inside, has a man, and he takes a shot. But that is a dart and a touchdown for the Bulldogs. Going to drop back, surveys, throws it deep, and dart across the middle, man in stride, inside the 20. 10, touchdown Vikings.
And they hand it off. It's Oatman on the near side. Still on his feet. Puts down a few defenders. Works back the other direction. Here he goes. Got to be clean if you're a blocker. Has a convoy in front of him. Everett working his way. Fighting for the end zone. Is in. Touchdown, Everett Oatman.
When you got big lineman from Kamei coming right at you.
Steps up, fakes out a few defenders, and he's taking it himself. And moves the chain of 10-yard gain.
Low punt, but Taylor fields it, and he has some breathing room. It's going to be a pitch. That's Crockett now with the speed. He's on the sideline. Gets past the 20, 15, 10, 5, a great block, touchdown! Less than 10 seconds to play before the second quarter. Thompson throws it to a wide open man in the middle, and he's got some green grass. Turf, I should say, across the 50, 40, 30. He's got the speed, 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Idaho Falls. They strike with 0 on the clock.
Round of 17. Pass goes into the corner. It looks like it's caught. We'll see what the official says. It is a touchdown. Malachi, his twin brother, going to the corner. What a pass and an easy reception. That
As Idahoans, we're not afraid to take risks.
All the way, all the way. Go. All the way down, all the way down.
Driving under the influence is not a risk we're willing to take. Be around to do more of what you love.
Back here at Southerfield and Wallace, your final tonight, Genesee 22, Wallace 18. Today's player of the game is brought to you by the Idaho Office of Highway Safety, reminding you to always keep your head in the game. Whether you're on the field or on the road, be in the moment and free from distractions. Okay, Brandon, we got a bronze, silver, and or gold here tonight for players of the game.
Yeah, a big win for Genesee, really in all three phases: offense, defense, special teams. Our bronze medal tonight is going to go to Noah Bowman. 7 catches, 188 yards, and a touchdown. Had the big 92-yard scoring reception from Jackson Banks. The silver, we arm wrestled for it, Brian. This was the guy you wanted to be the player of the game.
That's right.
But I'm the boss, and I win.
I know.
No. Defensively, Genesee tonight, our man Wes Holder had 2 sacks and a fumble recovery.
That's right.
And our gold and our IdahoSports.com player of the game, presented by the Idaho Transportation Department, the Idaho Office of Highway Safety, Jackson Banks, quarterback, 14 of 22 passing, 241 yards, 3 touchdowns, and an interception. 3 touchdowns to 3 different receivers. Carson Warner Hall, the big 92-yarder to Bowman, the really, and then 2 key throws late, the 15-yard seam to the tight end, Cass, where Wallace thought he was an O-lineman, but because of the formation, he was eligible on the route. And then 4th and 5, game on the line, 6-yard slant to Conrad Subert to ice it. I mean, just incredible performance all the way around.
And, both these teams, great performance tonight. Both teams, like we said before in the pregame, 50-plus points a game. And 22-18, a great ball game by both teams. I think we'll see them both later in this postseason. I'm going to go out on a limb and say we'll see them both in the postseason.
If we get a rematch, it'll probably be in the Kibbie Dome over in Moscow. Yeah.
On the turf.
I'm here for it, though. This was a really fun game tonight. Genesee did all the little things right tonight to get the win. Wallace left a lot of opportunities, a lot of points out there on the field, and they got a lot that they can go back and work on as now they get ready for the rest of their North Star League schedule and a big game looming with Coeur de Christ Academy that will probably decide the league title.
And again, Wallace is really, like I said, Wallace is going to look at the film inside the red zone 4 times tonight, no points. And give credit to that defense of Genesee as they stepped it up. Holder and the defense stepped it up for Genesee tonight, and they got the win.
Yep.
All right, Brandon. This has been an IdahoSports.com GameStream production of North Idaho Game Night. Coverage on IdahoSports.com is presented by Project Filter, Valley-Wide Cooperative, Next Steps Idaho, Ideal, Idaho's College Savings Program, Your Health Idaho, and Idaho Office of Highway Safety. Special thanks to our athletic director, Corey Miller, and everyone at Wallace High School, and especially a shout-out to Corey Miller and his staff. Nice Idaho Sports hats made for us tonight. Thank you for the hospitality and getting the broadcast to you. Congrats again to our Idaho Sports Top Player of the Game, presented by the Idaho Office of Highway Safety. Thanks again for joining us as the Genesee/Colton Co-op defeats the Wallace Miners by a score of 22-18. For my broadcast partner, Brandon Bainey, and everyone else behind the scenes.
This has been a presentation of IdahoSports.com GameStreams. This broadcast is copyrighted to IdahoSports.com. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or